Morning. Now, let us start with the second topic, that is health and disease. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-beingness, and not merely the absence of any disease. Now, health is related to your physical state, your mental fitness, and your social. How do you behave in the society? How you are having the good relations in the society? So, health is related to that. Now, what is a disease? A disease is nothing but a condition of disturbance in the physiological or psychological process of a body. Now, physiological process means the body where we relate with the functions, whereas psychological means it is related to the health. Each disease has its own specific symptoms. Symptoms means the signs where we can see, from that we can understand that a person is not well. For example, you can say vomiting, feeling of nausea, fever, temperature is the first symptom actually. So these symptoms, they help the medical practitioner, that is doctor, to understand what type of disease a person is suffering. So health is related to your physical state, it is related to your mental state, social state. Social well-beingness means your social. Now, what are the types of disease? The disease like diabetes, common cold, asthma, Down syndrome, heart disease. Now, reasons and symptoms of all these diseases are different. To bring coordination and scientific study of diseases, the diseases were classified into two types. Basically, first is according to the duration, that means how much long the disease exists, and according to reasons. Now, according to duration, the first one is chronic disease. Chronic means which will be lasting throughout the life or for longer duration. For example, cancer, HIV. Acute disease, these are the diseases where they will be getting clear in very few days. For example, you can take common cold. Now, according to the reasons, hereditary disease and acquired diseases. Hereditary diseases, these are the diseases which are being carried from generations after generation. For example, you take Down syndrome or genetic disorders, they are sickle cell anemia. These all are hereditary diseases. Acquired disease, there are two types, that is infectious disease and non-infectious disease. Now, infectious disease, that means which can be transferred from one person to other person easily. For example, common cold, flu, dengue. Non-infectious, that is diabetes, heart disease, which are not being transferred from one person, the diabetes patient, to other patient by touch or any wearing of any clothes. So these are non-infectious diseases. The diseases which are being transferred easily, they are also called as contagious disease. So they are infectious disease. Now you can go through what do you mean by pathogen. Pathogen is nothing but organism which is responsible for causing the disease. What do you mean by infectious disease? Infectious diseases are the diseases which are being caused due to the contact between a person who is affected by the pathogen first. So that will come under infectious diseases which are being transferred from one person to another person easily. Now you take example of coronavirus. It is a pandemic. That means it is fastly circulated in the community for worldwide. Now these infectious diseases they are spread through contaminated air. Contaminated means polluted air, water, food, or vectors. Vectors are the disease causing which are responsible for carrying the microorganism. For example, insects and other animals. They are called as infectious diseases. The diseases which are being spread through contaminated means polluted air, either water or food, or through certain vectors. And here in this chart there are certain diseases given which their pathogens, how they infect, that is called as mode of infection, symptoms, that means which are the sign, and how can you prevent and treat them. Now, for example, you take tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is being caused by the microorganism called as Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now, how do it get transmitted? That is from spitting by the patient either through air, prolonged contact with and sharing the materials of the patient like clothes or utensils. Now, what are its symptoms? The person will be having a chronic cough, blood in the spit, emaciation, and he will be suffering difficulty in breathing. The treatment for tuberculosis is now BCG vaccine is given. They are being isolated. Patients are isolated. They are kept in separate ward, and regular medications which are available at civil hospitals, they are being like DOT. So tuberculosis previously it was not cured, but now it is completely cured. Now next is hepatitis. Hepatitis, that is jaundice, in Marathi we call it as kavid. Hepatitis virus, there are 5 types, that is A, B, C, D and E. Now it is being infected, transmitted by contaminated water, either by sharing of the needle or during the blood transfusion. Blood transfusion, when blood is being transferred from one person's body to another. Now the symptoms are anorexia, they will have yellow urine, they will feel weakness, nausea, that is feeling of vomiting, then the stools will be grey in color. Now how do you cure this disease? That is by drinking boiled water or proper cleaning of the hands, washing the hands regularly. Third one, take example dysentery, that is loose motion. That is being caused by bacteria or viruses or Shigella or bacilli. Enta-amoeba histolytica is a common one which causes amoebiasis. It is being infection is by contaminated food and water. The symptoms, they are watery stools and there will be pain in abdomen. Now what are its prevention and treatment? That is drinking of boiled water and proper storage of food. ORS is given to control the water level and maintain the balance. So ORS is oral rehydrating syrup that is being given for drinking. Cholera is being caused by Vibrio cholera bacteria. It is being transmitted through contaminated food and water. The symptoms are vomiting, then severe diarrhea, there will be cramps in the legs. If you follow hygienic practices, avoid open place food, then drink boiled water, then vaccination is being available against the cholera bacteria. So cholera also is completely cured if proper medical treatments are taken. Typhoid. Now typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi, that is a type of bacteria. The infection mode is contaminated food and water. Then anorexia, then headache, a rash on the abdomen, dysentery. The fever is high fever, that is up to 104 degree Fahrenheit. The prevention and the treatment which can be given for the typhoid, that is drinking clean water, vaccination, proper disposal of the sewage. So these are certain infectious diseases. Their pathogens means the microorganism which cause disease. Mode of infection, how that has been transmitted. Symptoms, what are the signs from which we can understand that the person is suffering from so and so disease. And the next part is how can you prevent and what will be the treatment, medical treatment given for such diseases. I hope you might have understood what do you mean by health, what is disease, what are the types of disease and certain infectious diseases. Read the topic clearly and write down the notes to the questions which are given to you. Thank you.